And what is going on YouTube? Just another game channel, bringing you just another video. So guys, sorry I've not been uploading as much, just too exhausted guys. The same old story, insomnia is kicking my ass. Just sat down to PlayStation. I'm literally just been staring at the screen for like 5 minutes, just setting things up, getting my characters and getting any bounties and stuff I need. I'm knackered, my eyes, I can barely keep it going. It's insane. It's insane. It's kicking my ass. Do you know when you're so tired, like you can barely stay awake, and you know that falling asleep is going to be the best thing in the world? Like, I'm nearly always at that stage, but I never fall asleep. It's torture. It's actually like, look, I understand why military use sleep deprivation as torture. I get it. The good thing is, I've done 13 days awake, and I've done extended periods like that for the last 6 years, so try and break me, son. No, but seriously. So I'm just jumping into a Nightfall. I do that. So I'm just jumping into a Nightfall. I thought I'd just finish up my. So I don't know if I'm going to get any stasis. I don't use stasis anymore on this character. It's a real problem. And what we got? I wonder why. Oh, I guess this unlocks an extra. Is that? That's in there. Okay. Why is that not letting me put any of these up? Don't understand. What's happening here? Have they taken one away? I don't understand what's happened. I've not used stasis on this character for ages. Oh, this is a nightmare as a Nightfall. The boss fight. It's a long Nightfall. There's a lot of enemies that you have to push around with.
Our blood flows together. May it lead to unity.
No, still use as primary. Still use the weapons that drop the orbs, and have those orbs be like your medical, your burning, your explosions, global reach, all that good stuff. What I need to do, I think. But I think I might have everything. I don't know. I'm doing this quest, but I might actually have everything. It's a good chunk of it. Such a good. I just don't understand why the Warlock. The Warlock's like the most overpowered in its neutral game. Like, not overpowered. It's the best. I don't say it's overpowered, but it has some awesome abilities. But it's over. The problem is with the super for the Warlock, the Shatter super, the Stasis super, sorry, is that people just shoot enemies. So if you do your ability in the R2 and just try and do that massive amount of damage, well, you usually don't get much because other people shooting shit. You know what I'm saying? So shooting the enemies, you need them not to shoot it. You need them to stay in stasis basically, so you can get that extra damage. So good though, I forgot I got it there. So good. Oh. Is this a Nightfall? Seems a bit easy. Oh, actually, I remember last time I did this Nightfall, I was like, yeah, I'm 13. Well, at the moment, I don't know why I'm like 1304, 1305. I'm actually 1307 or 8 or something. Just that's the bottom lower level stuff. That's what I got though. I got no upgrade for module jumpy lobs on me. Oh shit. Oh, it is. How's everybody doing it, guys? Man, I really don't want to talk about politics because it's everywhere, but I want to talk about politics, but what I will say is that There is a. I'm in the UK and like the stuff the UK police are doing. There's a video just going on. A guy's like got COVID. He had to quarantine. He said, "Look, he had to quarantine in a hotel." He went home. Quarantine there. Cops bashed down his door. Okay. No offense, but they lied about COVID. Like, I knew about COVID about almost 3 months before it hit any new year in the West. Okay, so I had about it was like 9 to 10 weeks. It was about 9 to 10 week head start, and I took precautions because I was like, yeah, this looks like it could be really bad. But the death rate on COVID, if you're older than the national death age of your population, so say the average death rate age of people in your country is like 87, for example. If you're older than the national average of you supposed to have been alive, I think it's, what is it? Is the death rate like 0.3% or 3%? It's basically below 50. I think it's 0 now. To get, I know people have died when they're younger. What I mean by 0 is it's 0. It's statistically it's 0. If you go 0, then you add the decimal point 0.0%. You need to add several zeros beyond the decimal point. You have to get into 1,000th or at least 1,000th of a percent in order to get a register. You know, that's how minute that. Basically, there's been no increase in overall deaths. Okay, so take the overall deaths from 2 years ago. Accidents, flu, suicide, murders. With COVID, there's been no increase. No statistical increase in the death rate. Like this, yes, okay. I think the quarantine was like the biggest mistake. I've said from the beginning, guys, you quarantine, you shut down millions of businesses, all in every country. You keep a few open so people can get food. That means everyone's going to those businesses. That means people with COVID are going to those businesses. And mixing, touching everything, people without. So if you really wanted to stop it, quarantine is not something you would have done. So I'm not quite sure why it's quarantined. I can't think of a medical reason why you would quarantine. Something that's the quarantine's spreading the disease faster, believe it or not. Banning people from going outside. Actually, well over, from what I understand, well over 90% of infections have happened from touching surfaces. So most people have been infected by touching stuff in their own homes. You know, that makes sense. Touch a worktop, does it, whatever. But even then, the rate of infection is one in 10,000. So you know, technically, you could touch something once and catch it, okay? But in actual fact, the average is you touch 10,000 items, then you catch it. But you know, I mean, how many things do we touch seriously in a day? Probably easily that. 10,000 items seems like a lot, but it's not that much. Let's be honest. And touch a cup, a door, handle, your bed, your computer, your mouse. How many times you type on different keys on your keyboard? Is my point. I have to say, I don't know what to do about it. Yeah, so this guy got he said he had to quarantine at a hotel. Instead he was like, he went home and said, I'll quarantine at home. British police smashed his windows in and kicked his door in and then arrested him. I mean, they're wearing masks and then they go and grab him and handcuff him with bare hands. I mean, fuck me. People in authority, like, and do you know what? Okay, the radical left in America, which is a problem in the UK because America's main export is culture. So people generally latch on to what America's doing, which not always. I mean, Britain, we have our own culture. Obviously, we're very British. You know, if you come to Britain, you'll see differences instantly. But my point, what I'm trying to make is, America exports culture. So I've lost my goddamn train of thinking, and my point now. I'm sorry. Basically, what's happening is, oh yeah, that was my point. These cops kicking in the door. Now, far left. The radical left, the far left, the regressive left, progressive, whatever name they give themselves, whatever you want to call it. These guys Oh, that's one of those things. I never did the whole grenade thing. I had it active and I never did it. What do you do now then? Okay. You drop it like that. Oh, it does, yeah, you hold it. Okay. Nice. I've never used that. I've had it. And so I was thinking I was going to get it by... Ooh. Anyway, the far left, their tactic is they don't have a legit argument for their crazy woke ideology. So what they do is call everyone racist and Nazis. Okay, so at the start it started to keep people quiet because like no one wants that label, does it? Even though it's not true, no one wants that label. Well, now we know the game. I mean, I would have laughed in the face. I'm like, dude, I've had my cock in multiple black women. I don't mean that disrespectfully, I care about these people. My point is, if I was racist, personally, you don't hate... I suppose you could hate fuck somebody, but my point is, I find black women particularly attractive, actually. Anyway, that's not my point. My point is, that's the tactic they use, call everyone racist. So, here's a problem. When someone legit, like me, comments on tactics that actually you can factually compare to what the Nazi party used. So, these cops breaking down the store, arresting somebody, not committed a crime, done nothing wrong, okay? Think about that, okay? They're just following orders, okay? Everyone hates the idea of Nazis, okay? I can guarantee you that these leftists, they would have been the first to sign up. They would have been the first to capitulate, okay? The problem is with these cops, they're just following orders. That's the same excuse given, right, when the Nazis that were massacring and extorting innocent people. Now, I can guarantee you that most German soldiers weren't actually Nazis. Technically they were part of it, but they weren't. I can imagine they weren't hateful. It's like, shit, my entire country's been invaded by Allied forces. You've got massive amounts of propaganda by the German government. I'm sure some of them knew what was going on. I'm sure some of them probably enjoyed it, but a lot of them were just ordinary folk. Like, okay, I've got to defend my country, I've got to defend my way of life. You know, there's a world war, I've got to capitulate, I've got to join in. But this is the problem. It's just the cops are just like, I'm just following orders. It's the law. I mean, that is the weakest argument I've ever heard. Honestly, and people might go, no, it's not. Well, okay, if tomorrow a law was passed where police officers, by law, okay, were required to execute one individual every day for the next 10 years due to population growth, picked at random, yeah. How many people you guys would say, well, they're just following, it's the law, they're just following orders? I wouldn't do it. I'd pull out my weapon and I'd execute the person that gave me that order. No shit, that's what I would do. I would pull out my weapon, I would put a bullet through the brain of the person that gave me that order. That's what I would do. Because I am not, I'm not gonna, I get the irony of me doing that. But if someone's going to order that, they're an evil man. Like, if that's the stuff, yeah. Imagine what other laws are going to pass. Seriously. I hate these sort of missions because no one ever wants to pick up the orb. I don't mind doing it. It's just I don't know how good the other players are, so am I going to die when I can't shoot is my concern. Maybe. Sorry about the politics, guys. I need to do something about this. Like, Britain, everywhere, every civilization is moving more and more towards an authoritarian. Big tech, I've got legit... I've been observing this suppression and cancelling people for about a decade now. And I've come up with 4 strategies, like real strategies, that I absolutely believe will work. Okay? A couple of them will require funding. But you know, they can be long-term, some of them are long-term strategies. legit have, I think I have 4 different strategies to combat censorship, and one of them will cost them. It requires cooperation by a lot of people, but one of them will cost them billions a day in stock prices. Then I could, if people would agree to this idea, we could wipe out Twitter and Facebook in a week. I think you'd see the value drop to almost nothing in about a week. Nothing illegal, no violence, just. I need to get these ideas to people with clout, people that a lot of people follow, people that have a lot of famous friends, or other people that have large reaching podcasts that can get this first stage of this plan out, and then get the followers to agree, get everyone to agree, and then get their people who follow them to agree, and then their people. It's like the six degrees of separation is the idea that if you go through 6 people, you will eventually through 6 random people, you will be able to know everyone in the world. You get that idea, because of the people they know, you'll know everyone in the world. So I think it'll work. And I've got other ideas as well that are really, really good. One requires programming knowledge, which I don't have. This is a frustrating thing for me. Before LinkedIn, before Facebook, before I'm focusing on LinkedIn especially. I had ideas for that type of website for about 4 or 5 years before anything like it came out. We're talking way back in the early 2000s, before anything like that was really out. Just didn't have the skill set or the resources. Like, I'm a designer, but I'm not a programmer, and it's just, I could have, man, it'd be worth billions. I'm not particularly interested in money. It does, I've seen people that are one type of person to start with, and then when they start making billions, they're another. I don't know how to use this, it's been so long, there we go. I didn't mean to use this here, I'm not going to get this wrong. I'm going to die. Shit. Why is no one in there killing that thing? I don't understand. Ooh, damn son. I shouldn't have done that. But those guys... Let's be honest, I shouldn't have done that, but those guys should not have been dying so much. This is insane. Like, no one was in the boss room. No one was in the boss fight. No one was attacking the bosses. I went in there, didn't I? Remember how we're doing it, but no one else were. Insane, son. How have I got my super back? Oh, you get it when you activate the thing. Oh, that's cool. Cool, bro. I think I'm doing it wrong. I'm still on 45. I need to do this. I need to do this. I missed this Destiny 1. Destiny 1 had something really special. Way better armor sets. They also need to bring in the ornament system is great, but it's free. It covers 30 different sets, and they're the ones you mainly get from the store per season. No, we want the proper everything. There's so many awesome armor sets that I can never use. And even if I want to use them, after they got quite limited, if I want to get them again, if we brought them back, I've got to go and I've got to go and buy them. When you buy them, when they're easy to get, they're really low stats, so they're coming in like 50, 52 instead of in the like mid 60s. So if I want awesome looking armor, I've got to drop my stats by overall by 50 points, maybe 60. Good drop. How did that? Where's that heavy? I saw some, is it gone? I saw some heavy, no idea. I think I'm doing it wrong there. Oh no, oh no. What I meant. These guys are dying a lot, aren't they? Oh. I'm not gonna go get him because I'm right next to the danger. No one but me seems to go in there and do the shit we need to do. Everyone just stays away, which is weird. That should be eventually. That sword should be no, it's not sword. It's a stabby thing. There we go. Let's get it done, son. How did he die? There's no one else around. Jesus. Start down doing something, bro. Bro. One shot, bro.
Title. Your champion falls. I did not imagine this
I was
outcome.
okay. It was okay.
Your
I died a
guardians
few
have
times.
powers told of in the
Not that
old
I didn't. It
stories.
just seems like
Our
they were dying a
vaults
lot.
are
It
full
seems like
of
when I look
relics
around,
from
they're always
those
on
who
the floor.
underestimated us. If you ever
Revive
cross
me.
the
I need to do
vanguard
these
again,
armor suits, guys. I know. I'm my bad. I'll be honest. I haven't been on the PlayStation. I've not played much Destiny either. Well, I've only just hit a level 100. Like I'm only just over 100 a couple of days ago, or yesterday even maybe. So, my bad. But I was just trying to do these in case there's a new one available. But actually, to be honest, I think I might have it all. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Just sorry about droning on about political stuff. I'm not being political. I'm discussing the current state of the world and the politics as a method of governing. Well, it's not. It's weird. It technically is, but you know, in order to be a good leader, you need to be not political. But the political system is the system in which we govern. So it's very weird. You ever find a really good leader? I think I'd be a great leader. Okay, because I had no political aspirations. I don't give a shit. I won't be politically correct. I'd just do what needed to be done. That's why I think I make a good leader. I wouldn't put me first. I'd put the people first. I really would. If you guys have been watching my videos for long enough, you know I don't give a shit about me. You guys know I'd be quite happy to drop dead tomorrow. Don't care. Honestly, I want to see what's next. I was born a couple of trillion years too soon anyway. There's nothing on this planet for me. I should be out there in our galaxy. I really should. But I was born too soon. This is the problem. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. and I will see you all on the next one. Please feel free to leave a like and subscribe. I need to start saying that at the beginning, but it's never about pushing my shit channel, because look guys, I know it's not great. I just talk random shit. That's all. Just you know. Sometimes I've taken sleeping tablets, I've got in bed, don't fall asleep, come and play PlayStation, and I'm under effects. Man, the sleeping tablets, just before I go, they really screw. They don't put me to sleep, but they do have a sort of calming effect on my nerves, which are hypersensitive, because I'm, you know, it's like I've had a billion cups of coffee, because I'm awake all the time, or more or less all the time. So they sort of calm me down, but they do some very odd things. They do something. There's chemical components in your brain that changes. I think neurons even might misfire, honestly, because like I get a dysphagia, like words that I'm trying to talk, and I'm talk. Once I was talking about looking in the cupboard downstairs for aliens in the kitchen cupboard. That's not what I meant, but that's how it came out, because the word, there's like a dysphagia, there's like a weird sort of word dysphagia happening. Then I lose hours of memory. I've had hours of conversations with people, arguments, even really bad arguments. But also it changes my personality. It's a nightmare taking them on. But they help. They really help. They don't put me to sleep, but they help. They help relax me and they calm me. They have like a sedative, a sedation type effect. They're like a sedative, but not one that knocks me out. Honestly, not joking. I think I could probably get injected with a rhino or an elephant tranquilizer, and I'm not entirely sure if it will put me to sleep. And I know that sounds insane, but my body and brain and mind and everything, my chemical structure, is so resistant to sleep now. Like, I can't fall asleep if I've been awake for 2 weeks. I still cannot fall asleep. That's insane. Do you know what being awake for 2 weeks does to you? It makes you ill. It made me ill, man. I'm doing about... My sleep's gone up. For the last 3 years, it's been about anywhere between 0... If you're going weekly, if you went monthly, it was averaging out about 3 hours a month. It was between 0 and half an hour a week. So sometimes I'd get like 40 minutes in a week. But if you're averaging out, but sometimes I'd go like 9 days with no sleep at all. Couldn't even like get 5 minutes. And when I do sleep, guys, it's not sleep as you know it. I mean, I'm literally nodding off and then waking almost instantly back up. And the moment I enter REM sleep, which is very, very rare, I start suffocating. Like the moment I fall asleep, I start suffocating and choking. This is a problem. If I do enter REM sleep, and I do, then I really, my breathing becomes depressed and I cannot breathe. And so I have a selection of 4 or 5 recurring nightmares that wake me up. I think I've mentioned this before. I've been strangled by somebody. I'm in a sailboat that's capsized upside down and sinking. I'm in a factory with thick black smoke. That's what I dream of. That's what my body makes me dream of to wake me up so I breathe again. There's times where I've stopped breathing for over a minute. My girlfriends have nearly broke my ribs trying to punch me awake. A couple of times I've been rolled out of bed. They've pushed me out of bed, violently pushed me out of bed, hit the floor and boom! Like I wake up, I'm bruised, I'm hurting, but I'm breathing, so it's okay. Anyway, right, I'm sorry, I don't know. Alright, I'm off, guys. Thanks again, and I'll see you all on the next one. So cheers.